Also, we know that it's pretty clear that this is the only one that I got, which is fine because this guy here or his firm, and actually they call me Greg, which is funny because that's who the guy is that filed it. But anyway, this guy right here representing this firm supposedly represents. Can everybody see number two? And by the way, you're actually here now, Mr. Insurance Guy. Can you see number two right here on the screen? Maybe he's not there. Can everybody see number two? Anybody who can't see number two,
I guess number two.
what does number two state clearly?
Undersigned represents the defendants, Canaria, Dennis Tucker, and Linda Tucker.
Challenger Denise. Yeah, you do fuck up names. But anyway,
I already told you.
but at any rate, does it state there that he represents anybody else?
Nope.
Pretty interesting. Yet the settlement agreement, oh, here's another one that he filed. These are the other ones he filed. Once more, number two doesn't change, does it? Doesn't add anybody else.
Nope.
Pretty interesting. Here's the stipulation. So this is where we're going to come into where the fraud comes into misrepresentation coming from either an actual statement or what else? What else could constitute a misrepresentation? And we're going to look it up. Not that you may have said something improper, but that you may have done what? Not said anything, not disclosed it. So now, I would think that it'd be reasonable to expect that if I got this, I'm thinking I'm talking about this case. Because as you see, this is the only people I sued, right? The question would be, and by the way, if you're a veteran out there, you might find this extremely interesting. Where did State Farm, other than their fiduciary responsibility to the Tuckers, because the Tuckers pay a premium for insurance and they're liable for them up to the limits of their liability coverage. I don't know if the insurance guy can expand on that if there's another insurance person in there. And then we go to Austin Road Basketball, which is actually the attorney in this firm, the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, their employees and volunteers, which I don't see anything saying that they're represented in there, or that any of these other people have an interest in the outcome of the case, except for this person, because the only one liable is really this person, Miss Linda Tucker, because she loaned her vehicle to Chandra Tucker. And we know that's called vicarious liability, because if I loan my vehicle to somebody, I'm responsible for the accident to some degree that the person may do in while they have my vehicle. And then we all understand about the dangerous instrumentality doctrine and all that kind of stuff. And if you don't, go look it up. But at any rate, so this is where we are. And so we get the signing, but you don't see any other signatures here. Now that would be interesting and pretty smooth until this guy, a couple of days later, sends me this release. So at quick glance, we can tell that the release is not exactly the same as this. And that's when I wanted to go and apply what's called, hey, me and the judge get into it. I'm going to show you this in the transcripts. So I refused to sign this. That's not what I agreed to. And then I asked the court to clarify if whether or not the mirror image rule applies. And I think somebody else on here, I don't know if that would be essentially a case of somebody who may have said that the contract stated one thing and our agreement stated something else. I don't know if that kind of comes up into that play, but there you go. It must be absolute and unconditional, must match the terms of the offer exactly. And that's all you see. They bring up the UCC. The UCC would apply in that, but I don't want to get into UCC discussions. That's something totally different. Well, not totally different. Something that's a little bit different, but essentially, offer acceptance, consideration, age of majority, and not for illegal purposes. Contract, right?